What's going on, guys? Snaggy here, and it's time to preview round 5 of the 2025 NRL season, and this round is an absolute banger. I absolutely cannot wait for this one. This is going to be crazy. I'm sure there's going to be a few upsets again, and I'm slipping a little behind the tipping comp, so I'm going to have to take a few underdogs for sure, because I had the absolute worst round of tipping I've ever had in the history of tipping. Bets weren't great, but I'm actually pretty happy with how the bets went, considering how crazy the footy was. So super excited for this one, guys. We'll go through all the, as always, we'll go through all the games. We'll break down each one, give all my tips along the way, and bring it on. If you're not already, guys, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you jump in our Discord as well. I'll leave the link to the description in that one. And then do want to follow me on Dabble as well, so you can just copy the bet straight up. Use code SNAG when you join, or click the link in the description there too. Now, let's have a little look-see at the tipping. I'm going to need some suggestions from you two boys for super coach swaps too. So if you're super coach savant, let me know what I should do in this situation. All right, so, oops, hang on one sec. I'm just trying to bring up. All right, so leaders. So even our leaders in the tipping comp only got 3 right last week, and Benny in third place got 2. So it was a rough round for everyone, I guess you could say. I can see one person there was 6, but pretty much everyone else got 3 or 4. So pretty rank weekend for all the boys. Right, so Max 5, 4. I can never say this right. Max 4. I should remember this, because that's an engine. 454. Seth, Benny, the top 3. 31, 30. 31, 30. No, 31, 31, 30. Damn, that's some pretty solid scores for 4 rounds, guys. And for Supercoach, guys, I need to get Metcalf out of here. I don't know who to trade him for. So if you have a good replacement for Metcalf, who you think will be good over the next few weeks, let me know too. And I want to get a Sarko out of there too. He's been butt cheeks. He's only good if Dolphins are humming, so I want to get rid of him as well. So if you've got replacements for those 2 guys, help a brother out. I'm not great at Supercoach. That would be awesome. All right, let's get into these. Let's get into these games. This is going to be... I'm so excited for this one. Raiders, Sharks. Raiders on a 2-game skid. Sharkies pretty embarrassed last week, I'd say, by an understrength Bulldogs team. That's going to be a banger. Panthers versus the Cowboys. Both must win for both clubs. Both only got 1 win. Like, these are bangers. Then we have South Sydney Rabbitohs versus the Roosters. Then Parramatta Eels versus the Dragons. Gutho versus Lomax. Then we have Titans versus the Dolphins. Gold Coast, Queensland Derby. Broncos Tigers. Man, if Luai was playing in this, I'd be more excited. But when I was at the last Broncos game, I was sitting with all the members and stuff, because we had members' seats, and they'll go, "Oh, bloody, got to go watch them." The bloody Tigers are not going to be... I'm like, what are you talking about? Tigers are good. That's going to be an awesome game. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, lad? This ain't the old school Tigers. Then Battle of Brookie. Sea Eagles versus the Storm. Man, this round is so elite. They should have saved this round for Magic Round. Seriously. Then Bulldogs versus the Knights. Doggies sitting on top. Knights off a bye. Makes them extra spicy, you know. So we've got some absolute bangers, man. I absolutely cannot wait. Drop your tips in the comments, guys. I want to see every single game, who you think's winning each one. I love seeing your guys' tips in the comments there, guys. And man, this is going to be so good. This is going to be so goddamn good. Raiders versus Sharks. Man, this is a hard game to pick. Like, this is going to be tough. I mean, Oro out, Siffer out. Maori, Michael Morgan comes in. I think he looks on is it Michael Morgan? I can't remember his bloody name. So, a little surprised Atkinson didn't go in there, but he did get pretty diced up. They were a bit hard on him, though. He was on Critter. I mean, Critter makes good centres look pretty mid sometimes, so perhaps a little harsh there. Big Hazelton back as well. That's a huge inclusion. Who do we have? Danny Levi Cook. So pretty much unchanged for the Raiders. Yes, it is. Owen Paddy, yeah. So unchanged for the Sharkies there too. Now let's have a quick look how these guys have matched up in the past. Sharkies humped the Raiders last time, 40-0. and they got them pretty comfortably the time before that, 36-12. Raiders coming off 2 losses, Sharks coming off 1. Could be. This is a tough game to pick. The Raiders have won 4 of their past 5 games at GAO Stadium. The Sharks have scored 100 points in the last 3 games against the Raiders. Xavier Savage has scored 5 tries in his past 4 games at GIO Stadium. Ronaldo Mulitalo has scored 9 tries in 11 games against the Raiders. Josh Papali'i has scored 5 tries in his past 8 games. He's a try-scoring machine. I'm so surprised he stayed as good as he did. Like, when he started to gain that weight, I was like, as he got a bit older, I was like, this dude's going to fall to pieces. He's gonna be out of the league real quick. And he just, no. Let's have a look at some matchups here, guys. We've got Stone Street on Tamale, Ramian on Sebastian Chris, Strange and Hines, Tomoko Savage. Yeah, look, no real holes in either team there. There's nothing jumping out at me as try scorers there or anything. I just look, the problem with the Raiders is at the moment they've got to get Strange running the ball more. They've got to get him more ball and get him running because he's so strong. And then they have to get the same on the other side. Tomoko some more good ball as well because they've got 2 of the strongest ball runners in the NRL in their respective positions. And there can be game after game can go by, and I can't remember Tomoko getting a ball in good space. You know, it's just, I don't know. And just a few things that's making this really hard for me is Nicho Hines clearly isn't playing to his standard, and like I said, Will Kennedy just looks dead set busted to me. Like, I was chatting in our Discord chat, I was like, Kennedy is moving like trash. Like, he's never in position. Like, he's always out of position, and got so found out against Penrith 3 or 4 times. And then last week, I couldn't believe someone said Kennedy was playing great. I was like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, don't get me wrong, he did everything right a fullback should do. He caught the ball, safe under the high ball, and he took carries and stuff, but he just doesn't look that, like Connor Tracy dead set made him look terrible. And the reason Connor Tracy's at the Bulldogs is because Kennedy's was playing such good footy. So this is a really hard pick for me, guys. Like, Sharkies are firm favourites, but I really like Canberra at home. I think you can really frustrate the Sharks into doing dumb things. And like I said, AFB, I love him, but it's not like he's going to make this team substantially better. I mean, yeah, this is a really tough game. I think it should be $1.90 each personally. But yeah, I'm really torn on it. Now, I'm going to say my pick now, but I may change this, and obviously keep an eye on my shorts, on my Discord and stuff as well, because I'm going to lock it in, but I'm not confident. And so I mentioned Hines not playing his best footy and Will Kennedy's not. The one thing that really scares me about the Canberra Raiders is Kyo Weeks has looked awful 2 weeks in a row. He looks, and that's, you know what happens, man. I mean, guys get found out sometimes in that back 3 for not having the best hands in. All these guys have good hands, but to have good hands in traffic, that can be another story. And it just looks like when he's under pressure, he looks panicked. And he's going up early. He's kept dropping balls left, right, centre. He got found out 2 weeks ago chronically. A little bit less of a consent the week before. But it's tough, man. I'm going to go Sharks. But again, I might have to change this last minute. I'm not confident in them. I think Canberra being at home should be able to get this one. So, yeah, I'm really torn on this one, boys. It's so tough, but I'm going to lock in Sharkies for now, but I'm not confident. Not confident even a minute. So I'm going Sharkies, but to be confirmed. I can't dwell on it. I've got to get this video recorded, man. I can't sit here and ponder it. You know, the team list came out a couple of hours ago. Got to get this video up, but I feel like I need to marinate longer on this one. I can't just. Normally I'm like, yep. Normally I can just look at the team list, go sweet, and I look 1 through 8 and I go, that's who I'm picking, that. but you get the odd game where you need to marinate on it for 24 hours, you know. Toto out, Sorensen out, Trent Talau out. Jesus, he was arsed, wasn't he? But the GOAT is back. Jenkins in at centre, McLean at wing. All of a sudden, you look at this back four. Look at this back six for the Penrith Panthers, guys. You got Laurie, who's a fringy. You got Paul Alamotti, who's been incredible, and like he's got a ring now and stuff, but he's still pretty new. You know, he's what 14 months into being a regular first grader. Then you got Tungo, who's pretty elite. Not top of the food chain or anything, but pretty elite. Then you got Jenkins, who doesn't normally play, and then you got McLean, who's has he played 10 games yet? I don't think so. Then you got Jack Cole, who's again 14 odd months into his career, into his NRL career. And then you got GOAT, but it's definitely not the Penrith we're used to. You know, it's just not. Like again, this is what I think people were. I mean, you just say Luai was there, it just all of a sudden looks so much better. Or Toto was, you know, it's just, this is what we were saying about Penrith. We're like, if they're at absolute full strength, I'm sure they're going to be just fine. But when they've just been able to rely on their depth so easily, so much, and it's just not there anymore. I mean, Toto goes down all of a sudden, it's thin, man. It's thin. It really is. We've got Moses Leota, Mitch Kenny, Lindsay Smith, Isaiah Papali'i comes in for Sorensen, Liam Martin, Isaiah Yeo, Schneider, Eisenhuth, Henry, Garner. Same as the bench. It's thin. I'm really concerned for Penrith. I'm not concerned. I know they're going to play finals, but I'm just concerned about them winning the comp because that's the standard they've set. Want to see Bro get some minutes, man. Ivan, Mini Moses, get him in there, lad. Now, Cowboys. We're unchanged there, and we're unchanged here too. So heaps better performance from the Cows from last week. Panthers have lost three of their past 4 games at CommBank. Cowboys have won 3 of their last 5 games against the Panthers. I think 2 of those were against the Origin ones though. No, that's right. They played them once they rested their whole team, and then they played them once in Origin where they had no players. I think. But I remember 2 of them were well under strength. Cleary requires 14 points to break. How's Cleary breaking all-time records already at 26 or 7? What is he, 26, 27 at the end of the year? That's ridiculous, bro. You shouldn't be breaking all-time records in your 20s. Cowboys have lost all 3 games at CommBank Stadium. Isaiah Yeo will make his 250th. There's my try scorer, Isaiah Yeo, all day, baby. Let's have a look at some matchups here, boys. Actually, just one quick thing I wanted to show you guys too, just on the punt. We're talking about the punt. Right, so we're coming here. Where I had my best success using this site here, tryline.com, right, I'd come down here to analytics. I'd scroll right down here. Now, we've got more analytics to go on here, but see, like, we don't know what a top 8 team is yet because it hasn't all shaken to the bad teams haven't shaken to the bottom, the good teams haven't shaken to the top yet, and we don't have a ton of data on stuff like this. Like this right here is where I made all my money at the end of the year last year, right? So essentially, what it is, it's just points or tries. You can obviously work out how many tries they've scored by points, and first versus top 8 and top 14, top 4, 5 to 8, and bottom 9 teams, and first halves and second halves. It's really good. Like, you just come in and get, but why we don't have all the data yet is obviously, like, right now Penrith have only played top 4 and bottom 9 teams, you know, and Cowboys have only played bottom 9 teams. But when this all shakes out, it'll probably take to about round 12. It's going to take a while, maybe even a little bit longer. We get some really good data here, and you can just, you take... Where I actually found a lot of success with it, boys, was, say, I don't know who was a good team last year. Sharks. Like, the Sharks finished in the top 4, but you could see they leaked a try. They averaged 2 tries in every second half to, you know what I mean, and stuff like that to bottom 9 teams. So you get good value because because they're favourites. But they have been leaking a try every single for the second half. Boom, try in. And it worked a lot, man. It was a really good way to get value because they set the... So say they were playing... Who was the bottom team last year? Parramatta. So say they were playing Parramatta. Any try scoring anything, there's quite high odds. Yeah, but Sharkies is very low. So even just for Parramatta to score points in the second half, you can get some value out of it. So this is where I really did my damage last year. It was actually really good. Total points. But like I said, it'll take a little way to shake out. But you can obviously go your big wins, little wins and all that stuff there. But I just wanted to show you that one there too, guys, because it was good. It was good. All right, so we've got Derby on McLean. Jenkins on Vayela, so weak edges for both here. Cole, Isaiah, Papali'i. That could be the one there. Papali'i on Clifford and Vayela. I don't imagine in Bateman's defense. Bateman was awful last week in a good Cowboys team. He dead set got carried. He was in the Cowboys backpack getting carried. And then we have the right edge. I think this is definitely where Penrith will attack. Liam Martin running through here. You got Tunga and Alamotti. I think Alamotti's almost a lock in this one. Purdue's a gun, but his defense is a little dicey. So I'd be looking at Cleary, Tunga, Alamotti for sure for your try scorers there, boys. Look, I just can't see Penrith losing 4 games in a row. Cowboys don't technically travel that well. I still wasn't overly impressed with the Cowboys last week, but they were good, man. They were pretty good. They still leaked 20. They were pretty good, but yeah, look, I think Penrith get them in a score something like that, 26-6. I think it's going to be a 1-12. I know this for sure, right? And people were saying this about Penrith, like they were like, man, they're trash. If you actually look at it, as soon as they stopped dropping the ball in the second half, and they just got through a little bit of rhythm, all of a sudden Bunnies started to look pretty bad themselves, and they looked like the better team in the second half, and all they did was not make errors. They weren't playing that much better, but you get what I'm saying? Like, Penrith literally completed at 50% in the first half, so that's not going to happen again. I think they would have just drilled the basics at training this week, and I think they'll be good enough to win. So Penrith to win this one, guys. On to the Bunnies versus the Roosters. This is going to be a banger. Victor Radley out, Connor Watson back. Let's do the Bunnies first, because that's where the chat is. Trell Mitt back in the centres, Jai Greystone. I made that call. I said, just while Campbell Graham's out, just put Trell in the centres. And I personally think, if he played there every week, I'm pretty sure we universally think Crichton is the best centre in the comp. I do definitely think Latrell Mitchell would be the best centre in the comp if he played there permanently. Obviously, he plays fullback normally, but I think if he stayed a centre, he would be the best centre in the comp. Just so damaging, man, and so powerful. It's going to be a beast. Oh, who's Latrell matching up against? Let's see that quickly first, boys. I can't wait. I've got to see who's Trell on. Trell Mitt will be on, the newbie. Toya. Damn. So, yeah, that's pretty epic. Ravalawa, Humphreys, and then top 17, Hubner back. Dallas Tunkin back to the bench. Spencer Lenu back to the bench. Lindsay Collins starting. Need to see more out of Lindsay. Connor Watson at 9. That's a lot better. Yeah, look. Let's do these and then I'll talk about it when we get to the matchups. Cody Walker has scored 7 tries in his last 6 games against the Roosters at Accor Stadium. Well, James Tedesco has scored 5 tries in his last 3 games against the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs have lost their last 4 games against the Roosters. Connor Watson will make 150. Latrell Mitchell has scored 4 tries in his last 6 games against the Roosters. That is nuts. All right, let's have a look at some matchups here. So we've got Trellmeat and Tass on tour and Dom Young. All right, straight off the bat, I think I might put Trell in as a try scorer, or I might go Trell and Tass for 2 more. You know they're going left, but Cody Walker sometimes does double cut out to Tass, and because they're going to be so worried about Trell, Dom Young's going to be jamming in, especially with Ty being, for 4 or 5 games into his career? Maybe a few more. Maybe he had a few more somewhere else? Whatever. You get my point, right? Could be a little bit of indecision there. Latrell does that at State of Origin. Trell came in for 1 game at State of Origin, playing out of position, and the first thing he did was draw 2 players and get the ball to score. I'm pretty sure it's the first try. That's just what he does. He's got that aura. You know what I mean? Sometimes your aura can get you. Sometimes your aura creates space on an edge, and he's definitely got that. So, especially with Kulumatangi playing pretty goddamn as well. That's a lethal left. Kulumatangi, Walker, Mitchell, Tass. I'll probably go on Trell and Tass for 2 or more. Definitely, actually. And what have we got on this side? Nakawase, Tupou on Whiten, and Ravalawa. Yeah, I'm not too sure. The thing is, I used to love going the left-hand side for the Roosters because Angus Crichton has a similar aura. He's just such a beast. He would draw in almost 3 along here, and it would create so much space. But Sandon Smith can't put him in that space. They ran into each other last week. I was just like, people are like, man, Crichton needs to be better. I'm like, Crichton's fine. It's his shape. It's what's been set up. It's Sandon Smith needs to get him in better positions and put him where he needs to go. You know. But yeah, look, I love this team all of a sudden with Jai Gray with that energy and Latrell Mitchell on the left. I think there's points galore here. I'm going the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Eels Dragons. We have Clint running out at Parramatta Stadium. That'll be interesting. You have Zach Lomax up against his old club too. Pretty much a clean swap. And it looks like the Dragon... No, I was about to say Dragons got the better deal. I wouldn't say that necessarily because Zach Lomax has been incredible. But, yeah, Clint's just doing what he do, man. I love Clint. I've always loved him. He's just such a good effort guy. And, you know, the amount of tries he saved. I wish that was a stat. Save tries. It's just insane. So crazy when it's all chaotic and then someone crashes over and you're like, oh, did they get that down? And just every time it's Clint under there. Whether he stops it or not, he's under it. You know, it's definitely what you want in a footy player. Hawkins still there. What else we got here, guys? Ungawi, Paulo, Sean Lane. Very similar to us just said about the Roosters. Dylan Brown, and they need to get these... I think these two... Katonga and Lane in the first half had 3 runs between them. Like, come on, man. What are you doing? Get them the ball. And then they wonder why they don't have space outside, you know? If you watch Roosters last year when they started absolutely annihilating teams and were playing really good, at the start of the game, Crichton flat, and such a hard handle. And then all of a sudden it's just... Crichton runs that same line, out the back, space, try, Tupou. Tupou gets a double. It's foolproof. Look, I'm not a fan of this Riley Smith dude either. I was just watching his service. I was just watching the halves catching the ball here. I'm like, can you not put it on someone's chest, bro? You're in the NRL now, man. You got to up your game. Dylan Walker's... That's cool. Dylan Walker's getting a run. Gama dropped. Yeah. Oh, man. All right, I'll spill the beans. I was going to take Parramatta here because I've got to take some underdogs. But just going through this team list, I don't know if I can do it. I'm looking at this Dragons team now and I'm like, it's actually pretty good. The reason why I was going to take Parramatta, I'll tell you why. So, number one, I don't think Parramatta are playing horrible. They're definitely not playing good. They're playing like a bottom 4 team, but like, in my opinion, just my opinion, I might be wrong here, doesn't look like a really bad bottom 4 team. You know what I mean? Like, they look like a bottom 4 team, but it's not like, oh my God, just kick them out of the comp, like they're horrible. Just to me, they look like a top bottom 4 team. That could jag a win here and there, and they'll finish with 5 wins for the year. You know, like that's what they look like to me. The reason why I was going to go Parramatta is they beat Melbourne last week, and it is such a Dragons thing to do, is to go on and lose their next game to the team that hasn't won a game yet. Like, is that not a Dragons thing to do? I don't know. That sounds like a Dragons thing to do. I'm pretty sure when they beat Melbourne last year, they went on a 3-game skid after it. I need to marinate on this one too, but I'll give you an answer. The Eels have scored 118 points in the last 3 games against the Dragons. Dragons have lost 4 of their past 5 games at Combank. Josh Adokar has scored 8 tries in 6 games against the Dragons. Clint Gutherson has scored 4 tries in his last 2 games at Combank. Zach Lomax requires a try for his half century. Let's see if this team is good. We've got Penasing and Adokar, Sully and Sloan. Geez, some speed on that edge. We've got Hawkinson, Lomax, Russell. Lomax on Holmes and Russell on Tuapolotu. I'd say Tuapolotu's getting a try. Clint Gutherson will shred him down this edge. Yeah, this is a tough one, boys. See, I said I was going to stop going with who's in form. Like, if I tipped how I had been tipping, I'd be tipping the Dragons. I'm like, they've looked pretty good. They just beat Melbourne. They're in form. They're going to get a win. But there's something telling me Parramatta's going to win this. It's just such a Parramatta thing to do, and it's such a Dragons thing to do. Should I do it? Should I do it, boys? Oh, good. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Parramatta. Parramatta. You're going to get it. Oh, it felt weird saying that. Back your gut, lad. Dolphins versus the Gold Coast Titans at home. Pretty impressed with this dude. De Groot. Not bad. Good size. Tommy Gilbert out. Lemu in. So what are they doing now? What are they doing in the forwards? Max Plath the lock. Nice. Kafusi in the middle. Saifidi in the middle. Where's Molo? I think they need to get Josh Kerr. They need some size. Yeah, Dolphins are struggling, eh? Yeah, this is tough. Sorry, I just zoned out then. I was thinking about Isaac and Verrills out. Okay, so Verrills is out. Jolloff, Palu. So we've got De Groot, Tony Francis, Brian Kelly, Philip Sammy, Jojo Fafita, AJ Brimson, Jaden Campbell, Mo, Chris Randall, Regan Campbell-Gillard, Cleese Haas, Fermor, Tino, Fafita, Jamin Jolliffe, Brock Gray. Okay. Let's have a look. How these guys matched up the last few times they've played. Titans got them at 21-14 last year. Dolphins got them 30-14 the time before. Titans coming off 2 wins. Dolphins having 5 losses in a row. Right. A win will give the Titans the best start to a season since 2017. Dolphins have won both their games at Seabus Stadium. They played 2 games at Seabus this year? They played at home twice? Philip Sammy scored 3 tries in his past 3 games. Philip Sammy scored 3 tries in his past 3 games against the Dolphins. Jermaine Asako requires 1 goal for his 400th goal. Wow, that's 800 points. Titans have won 4 of their past 6 games at Seabus Stadium. I thought they had a terrible record there. Maybe they tidied it up at the end of last year. Because I remember looking through last year, I was like, oh, we can have a look, can't we? I remember looking through last year and I was like, geez, they've got a bad record at home. Wins at this venue. Yeah, 44%. That's still pretty bad. Like, 44%. Dolphins have beat them there twice? Dolphins. All right, let's have a look at some matchups. So Randall comes. That does. Verrill's pretty good hooker, man. You got Saifidi thing. I like Plath starting at lock. Lemu, Finifuaki, Katoa, Nikorima, Armoth, Bostock, Hamasai Fido, De Groot. Alright, so for tries, I'm looking Bostock or Farmworth here. Okay. Alright, boys, just like the Parramatta game. I know Titans have looked pretty damn good. And Dolphins have looked pretty damn bad. I'm going the Dolphins. Again, another underdog. I think they're going to notch up their first win of the year too. I like Plath at lock. I like the fact Lemu, Finifuaki there on the edges. De Groot is their backup fullback. Randall's their backup. So half their spine's their Q-cup. They don't have AKP on the edge for that speed. Dolphins upset, boys. I'm locking it in. Hamaso to have a big game. Hamaso to score as well. Everyone's been ripping him, saying ever since he got with that chick, he's trash. Hammer out here to prove him wrong. I'm locking it in. Like I said, I've got to be a little bit. When you fall behind, you can't just keep picking who you like the safe option. You got to go outside the box, and I've got to start jamming some wins. So I'm gonna go Dolphins to win this one. Broncos Tigers. Damn, I really wish Luai was playing here. Jerome Luai out. It's just man, it just sucks. I just hate Norwich. Everyone's like, oh, they shouldn't get special treatment, and I get it, but like, I want to see the best players play all the time, man. I really do. All right, Broncos, Jordan Ricky out. Brendan Piakura. Now, I like this. I've been saying this for a minute now. I think Brendan Piakura did his best work when Jordan Ricky was out in 2003. He was out for quite a while, like 5 weeks. Brendan Piakura was unstoppable on the right edge. I was sitting there going, man, I don't know if Jordan Ricky's going to get his spot back. And he did. But he just, there's something about him on the right edge. He's got a big right foot coming back against the grain. Big right foot. Yeah, right foot. Brings him back. He scored so many tries running like an outline, almost a straight line, but an out. And then as he catches the ball, he just janks back in, and the whole defense he's really good. I'm so interested to see how Brendan Piakura looks, because I've never rated Jordan Ricky super high. Like, everyone's like, yeah, man, he's got a mad kick chase and his defense is good. I'm like, no, he does have a real good kick chase, but like, you got to do more than that to keep your spot at the Broncos, lad. And then his defense is solid, but it's not like, whoa, like this dude's a lockdown, you know. So I'm really interested to see how Brendan Piakura looks on the right side. Ever since that 5-game stint, every time he's come in on the left, and I just don't think he looks the same on the left. Should be able to play both sides, I mean, seriously. But maybe it wasn't so much that right foot I was talking about, it's because he was outside Reynolds. Maybe Reynolds was putting him in the right spots, and when he was on the left, Ezra Mann wasn't putting him in the right spots, if that makes sense. So we'll see how that plays out now. Back 5 unchanged for the Broncos. Bench, we have Jaden Hunt. I actually really like him, eh? He's a really good player. Jensen, Xavier Wilson, Billy Walters. So Fainu comes in for Jerome Luai. And unchanged besides that. Safer, Fainu. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, look, this is how these guys matched up the last couple of times they've played. Broncos got them both times. Only played once last year. That was last year too, in 2023, when Broncos were humming. Broncos 3-1. Tigers 2-2. Let's look at some of these. Brisbane Broncos have scored 80 points in the last 2 games against the Tigers. West Tigers have won only 2 of their past 8 games at Suncorp Stadium. Tony Staggs has scored 5 tries in his past 5 games at Suncorp. Dewey has scored 6 tries in his last 7 games at Suncorp. Broncos have scored 118 points Broncos 118 points is their highest tally after 4 rounds since 1996. They win the comp that year? No, Raiders. One of those two. Alright, so we've got Piakura is going to be running at Galvin and Fainu on Dewey. Luai says, yeah, Cobbo's getting a try. Cobbo's scoring. Shaboski, Jesse Arthurs. Yeah, I'm feeling the right, boys. I'm feeling the right from the Broncos. They've been going left heaps. Let's have a little look, actually. So Broncos have the second best left edge against the 7th best right edge defence. Damn, the Tigers are pretty, like, just steady. 6th, 6th and 7th, that's pretty solid. Where Broncos scored all their tries. 4 tries on the right wing, 5 tries on the left wing. Pretty even. Yeah, boy. I like the ride on this game. Piakura running a nice line at Galvin. I don't know if Dewey can handle the Stags. The Stags looks like a machine at the moment. Yeah, this is going to be interesting, boys. Broncos to win. Luai out. It's a huge out for them. All of a sudden, it looks like a very, very young team again. So yeah, I'm gonna go Broncos to win this one, and win pretty well. Oh, it's Battle of Brookie. All right, so Aloye and Travojevic out. Loiho Hopewadi in. I wish they put Kohler there. Fala'u, Luke Brooks, Daly Cherry Evans, Nathan Brown, Judd Stavanga, Siha Takiaho, Olakwatu. Simply comes in. Bullymore, Waddell, Simpkins. Now, Melbourne, are they... Myrana Seve comes in. Jerome Hughes in? Where? Jerome Hughes is back on the reserves list already? I thought he was going to be out for like 3 weeks. Wasn't it a broken hand? Wow. Alright, how have these guys matched up the last couple of times? Manly got him last year. Manly beat everyone last year. They really did. And then Storm got him the year before. Storm coming off a loss. Manly coming off dubs. 2 dubs. Let's have a look at the some matchups here. We'll see if we can find some... We've got Haworth, Coates, Munster, Wishart. Wish I knew whether I'd put Jerome... Oh no, he's a 7. I was going to say I'll put him in my super coach, but I got Cleary. Man, maybe Warbrick, eh? If Wishart, Katoa. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit iffy on this one. Let's look at the scoring map. So Seagulls have the best right edge, the best middle attack, but Storm have the best middle defense and the 5th best left attack. What is Storm? Storm have 14th best. 2nd best attack through the middle. 7th best. Wow. Seagulls have the best left edge defense in the comp after 4 rounds. Alright. Sorry. Settle down, Manly. Man. I actually really like Manly in this one, eh? I do. Seagulls have won 3 of their past 4 games against the Storm. Storm have not won at 4 Pines Park since 2020. Jason Saber scored 6 tries in his past 4 games at past 7 games at 4 Pines Park. Elise Katoa has scored 4 tries in 5 games against the Seagulls. Ruben Garrick has scored 56 points in his past 3 games at 4 Pines. That's nuts. Oh no, Casey the Hairy Badger. I really want to pick Manly, but I just can't. I'm going to take Melbourne, especially if Jerome Hughes is back. But yeah, it's just Turbo being out. I don't know about Lehigh being back there just yet. I just think Kohler's a weapon, bro. Whereas I think Hopewadi's going to be like he's already a weapon. I'm selling him short, but you get what I'm saying. Like I think needs a year or two to develop. Mostly his body, to be honest. He's still got his boy body. He hasn't got that man body yet. But yeah, he's going to be a weapon. That's for damn sure. We might be seeing the best Hopewadi of them all, and that's saying something. Isn't it funny, like what a beast Hopper Senior was, and all these boys? None of his boys are giants. Like they're all, they got a bit on them, but like Will Hopewadi in that one, biggest boy in the world. Like, yeah, always found that a little strange. I thought he would produce like Burgesses. You know what I mean? I thought there was going to be like 9 Tongan Burgesses coming at us, but they all ended up being like fullbacks and wingers and stuff. It's wild. Onto the Bulldogs versus the Knights. There's a lot of outs here, guys. Jacob Carraz in, that's huge. Curtin Moran in. So we've got Connor Tracy, Blake Wilson, Sherry, Stephen Crichton, Montoya, Howard, Toby Sexton, Max King, Reid Marnie, Saluka Fafita, Josh Curran, Preston Salomon. And Jack Todd keeps his spot. Who's missing then? Yeah, that's and then we have Tyrone Thompson and Leo Thompson back. And that's it. So we've got Ponga, Schiller, Gagai, Best, Marju, Sharp, Cogger, Saifidi, Crossland, Leo Thompson, Thomas Cant, Frizzell, Adam Elliott, Brayley, Jack Etherington, Hewen, Max Croker. All right, how have these guys matched up? I know how they've matched up. And this, okay, I'm going to tell you as well, because I already obviously thought about this game. Because I'm looking for some underdogs that other people won't pick to try and catch up on the leaderboard a little bit. And I was like, I'm trying to find a reason why Newcastle Knights will win. And there's some reasons why they should win. They're coming off a bye. They should be nice and fresh. Doggies have just had the 2, big wins, like big emotional wins. You can fall off the bandwagon a little bit. It's hard to get up every single week. Things can just not go your way sometimes in these situations. But this right here, I remember these 2 games distinctly. And I just remember how bad the Newcastle Knights played in both these games. Like, they were terrible. Like, this game here, this was before Doggies were getting their groove, This one here, was it this one? No, this one here. That's right, because I remember I had Bradman Best to score a try, and he scored it in the last minute. Let's have a look, see if I'm right. Bradman Best, 70th 9 minute. How good is that, boys? I remember my bets from last year, from April. Got the GOAT memory right here. That's why I love gambling. Do you know what? People say that to me, man. They're like, man, why do you love gambling? Because you remember stuff better. And it just, it makes when you have a big win like that, I remember I had money on Xavier Coates to score a try on a 4-leg parlay, and Xavier Coates literally jumps over DWZ to score it. I remember that forever. I won't say who, but so I asked me about it, and they're like, what's the biggest bet you won? I'm like, well, it's not my biggest, but my favourite one was that, because I thought the game was wrapped. I thought 2 legs had failed. Melbourne needed to win, and also I needed Coates to score. It's the 79th minute. I'm like, this is gone. And he jumps over someone and scores it. I remember the next one I had Nate Diaz, and everyone, we rented out this massive room at the pub, and there was about 70 of us, and every single person in that joint had money on Conor McGregor, and I had money on Nate Diaz to win. And just when he locked in that choke, and I just turned around, and I got my tick, because we bought them on tick, and just watching everyone, and I'm just like, it's the best feeling ever. Anyway, that's my little ramble on why I love gambling. It creates moments. Creates moments where I literally remember a try in a game that didn't matter last year, in a game that didn't matter to me at all. Satilli out. We've already gone through all that. Now, Satilli's a big loss. He really is. As much as I love Hayes, Todd, Moran, Kurtman's different, but because he plays a different position, but he really does act that. These guys are good effort guys. They're nice footwork, but they're still pretty green, and they just don't have that punch that Satili has. He's come on, and one thing I thought Bulldogs, when they signed him, I was like, he's perfect. I hope they play him in the middle, because I was really worried they're going to put him out on an edge or something, and I was like, he's a middleman, and not that he's a giant man, but because he's so powerful, he actually creates punch. And now with Kikau and him out, I was like, they do lack a little punch at the moment. Max King doesn't really have it. Saluka Fafita's like okay. Josh Curran, like a lot of effort guys, but just lacking a little bit of punch with those guys out. So I can find reasons that Newcastle Knights win this, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, just because like they have been so they do have a few things going their way, like I said, coming off the bye, all that sort of stuff. And they do have, I guess, the best player on the park, like Newcastle. Like I'd definitely say Caleb Ponga clears everyone here, except for maybe Crichton in the back line there. But yeah, it's hard. I don't know if it's enough. I said this about Bulldogs last year when I started tipping them. Like, they were pretty trash at the start of the year. They started winning some games, but still dropping some as well. And I started tipping them so much because I'm like, at least I know what I'm going to get. Whereas, again, when I come back to these two games that I was talking about, Knights had looked great before these games. And then they turned up and just threw up absolute trash. Like I remember these games so distinctly. They were so bad. I was sitting there going, how are these guys even in? Like everything they did was horrible. So yeah, it was that's why the Doggies just ended up being a gold mine in the tips last year, because the difference between their best and their worst, they still lost games. Like they lose 10 games last year? It's plenty. Like they only won 14. Like, but at least you knew what you were going to get with them each week, Bulldogs have scored 68 points in 2 games against the Knights. There's those 2 games we just talked about. Bradman Best has scored 7 tries in his last 5 games against the Bulldogs. Thank you very much. Bulldogs have lost their last 3 games at Accor Stadium. Kalen Ponga has kicked 26 goals from 28 attempts in NRL games at Accor Stadium. Kurt Mann will play his 200th. Oh, man. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you why I'm going to pick the Bulldogs. And it's mostly because of what I just said before. I know what I'm going to get. I know they're going to play some pretty good footy. I don't know. I got no idea. And with all due respect to the Doggies, I genuinely think Knights could win this 13+. I know everyone's super high on the Bulldogs and all this sort of stuff now, and they are doing really, really well. But I'm not sitting here. I'm just not going to sit like people were comparing them to Penrith the other day. I'm like past Penrith, like 2020. Andrew, I said, I haven't ever seen defense like this, and I was like, well. Let's just chill a little bit. I mean, it's a great start. They look incredible. I'm tipping them with players down, so don't Doggies fans, don't think I'm hating. Let's just pump the brakes a little. They haven't done anything yet. They've just had a real good start to the year. They've got a lot more work to do. Still got some stuff to work on. So, but again, I just know what I'm getting. I'm gonna get a minimum 65 minutes of some real good footy. And that'll usually win you a footy game. But one thing that really stopped me from tipping, because like I said, I'm trying to find a reason to tip Newcastle, because I know everyone. Let me have a quick look, see if I can find it. You guys won't be able to see this screen, but I'll read it out to you. So how many people have tipped the Bulldogs? So 87% of the tipping comp has tipped the Bulldogs. So you know what I mean? That's why I'm trying to find a reason for Newcastle to win, so I can get one up on everyone. But it's just... Okay, so I didn't tell you why. Frizzell in the second row and Cant. If this was Lucas and Kai Pierce-Paul and Frizzell was at lock, I would take the Newcastle Knights here, because they look way punchier with those guys there. But just... Yeah, it's... Those guys went. See, this is what Ponga does his best work when he gets the ball sweeping out the back. But I can't remember what game it was, whether it was the last one or the one before, where Ponga, he was getting the ball out the back, but there was no space. Like, he still needs space, bro. He's not a magician. He's really, really good footy player, but he's not a magician. And I don't know if Cant and Frizzell will create that space for him. Maybe. But, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm taking doggies. So what did we end up going? We went Canberra, didn't we? Did we go Canberra? No, we went Sharks. We went Panthers. We went Rabbitohs. We went Para. We went Dolphins. We've gone Broncos. We've gone Storms. And we've gone Bulldogs. That's it. If you made it this far, guys, you know what that means. You're an absolute legend. If you made it this far, type legend in the comments. I want to see how many people actually type legend. Who listened to me waffle for 45 minutes about the footy. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.